Hi everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to fold an origami house. We're going to start with a regular sheet of paper. We're going to make our sheet of paper into a square, which is an origami sheet, square piece of paper. To do that, you're going to take the shortest line on the piece of paper and you're going to line it up with the longest line with no space. You want there to be a point on the end. So once you've got that point and all those lines line up, you're going to have a triangle. So it looks something like this. So this little piece right here is the piece that we need to remove for us to have an origami page. So to do that, you carefully fold this piece away from this edge right here. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's your first time. Practice makes it better. And just do the best that you can. I learned how to do this when I was 5, and I'm telling you, I was not that good. So once you have the line done, you want to make it very, very, very strong crease. And then you want to crease it the other way. Very strong crease. And you can do that a couple of times. And this is the part that's a little bit tricky. You might need help, kids. If you've got a parent nearby, you might want to ask them to help you. You can take that, and I've done this many, many times. So if it doesn't turn out like this, this is why. You hold one side and you just pull with the other. Just do it firm, and if you pull out a little chunk you shouldn't have or have a little too much on the other way, it's okay. And you'll end up with a piece of paper. It's a square. So I'm now gonna switch to origami paper. That way it's easier for you to see some of the folds. It'll help you. So once you have your square piece of paper, we're gonna go ahead and fold it in half one time. Anyway, you pick a direction and you just fold it in half. And when you fold it in half, you wanna make sure all of the edges meet each other. You don't wanna have too much pointing out one way or an edge gap on the other side. You want it to all meet on the corners and all the edges. So once you've folded it in half, we're gonna fold it in half one more time. And the same thing, you want to make sure your edges meet. And then you just fold it as best you can. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. It'll still be fun and it'll still look cool. So once you get to this point, this is where it gets fun. Now, you're going to see that you kind of have these two little squares and they're connected kind of like a little book. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it the open side down. And if you hold in the center here on the other side of the crease, and you put your finger at the very top of this right here, you're gonna push down and make this into a triangle. So this square piece right here turns into a triangle. And since you made that piece of paper into a square from a rectangle, you should already have one of the creases and it should aid with making that. It's a little more difficult with origami paper that doesn't have any creases already in it. So now you have a triangle here. You've got your little square on the back side here. So to help, we're gonna do this triangle on the other side. So to help do that, you can take this square and fold it kind of back and forth a tiny bit, just to make it a little bit easier when you make that other triangle. And you're gonna do the same thing. You can hold triangle here, and you're gonna take your little finger right here and just take it to the top of that, top of the square right in the center there. You're gonna flatten it out into a triangle. And then you do the same thing, put it flat, keep the edges all together as best you can. You're gonna fold it down I'm gonna end up with 2 triangles. You're gonna see you kind of have like 4, almost like a pyramid. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take every piece here, this piece right here in the front, you're gonna fold this to the top. You're just gonna take this corner here and fold this corner all the way up here. Okay, so pick one of those 4 edges, one of those 4 points, and go ahead and fold it straight up to the top there. And once you've done that, you're gonna go ahead and do that with this side too. So you're gonna fold this one up as well. All right. So now we've got one side that looks like this, kind of got some openings here. And then the other side, we've got our triangle. So on the triangle side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fold these outside pieces up to the very top on both pieces. So you should have it, should look like this on one side and like that same on the other. So you kind of got a couple things going on here. And you want to keep all those points to the top. So if you don't have anything pointy at the top there, that's the bottom. So you want to keep those points all at the top. All right, so now you're gonna take one of those sides, just pick one, it's fine. And this is a little triangle right here. So this little triangle, you're gonna do something similar to what we did a little bit ago. You're gonna put your little finger right in that triangle, and you're gonna push it all the way to the top, and then you're gonna make it into a square. So now you have something like this. Now we're going to do this same thing to this piece. You got a triangle. You're going to put your finger to the very top of the triangle right here. You're going to make it into a square, and it's going to match right up with the other side. I'm going to flatten that down. Make sure the edges all meet, kind of make it look pretty. So now you've got one side that looks like this, and you've got another side, still has our pieces pointed up. So on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna turn these triangles into squares. So the first one, you're gonna take it, put your finger to the very top of that triangle, you're gonna push it down into a square. So now we just have one more to do here. So go ahead and do the last one. So all 4 should be done now. So each side should look like this. And it does open. So you are going to have sides that don't have anything. And that's normal. All right. So now what we're going to do, pick a side. It's okay. Which side's fine. You're gonna take this little flap here and you're gonna fold it up to the top of its own square. So you're gonna make this into a triangle. All right, so you got it. It's gonna look like that. Now we're gonna do the other side. And there's that. Same on these 2. So this is where we're at on both sides. Looks the same. Now we're going to take this little piece right here, and you're just going to fold it straight up. it should just about fit in that spot. Straight up, and it'll look like this. And you're going to do that on both sides. So you're going to fold this one up as well. So once you've done that, we're almost done. Now, the fun part, making it stand up. It's your origami house. You're going to want to take those opposite sides that don't have anything. Kind of just want to fold all the stuff you just did. And you have origami house. Kind of fun. And you can make them any size, big, small, teeny, teeny, tiny, bitty little ones. And I learned to do when I was 5. I know that by memory. And you can eventually do things like this. Dragonfly. Lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day.